Good morning. What a weird change in weather today. I hadn't planned to live stream, and then I was out this morning and the sun was bright and it was a blue sky. And I said, okay, let me do a live stream down here. And then the clouds rolled in so quickly. I don't know how long I'll be streaming this. It's just so weird. It was so bright and sunny, and now it just got so cloudy. Hi, Fajita. Very nice to meet you. So today's little walk is in Annapolis, Maryland. The last time I was here, I was up near the government buildings and some of the historic buildings there. Now I'm going to be right on the water. We're going to walk from the main entrance to the United States Naval Academy and see some historic and preserved homes along the way. And then we'll walk to the waterfront. We'll cross over the Eastport Bridge and we'll walk over to Eastport and take a look at all the cool stuff along the way. And I'm just noticing, it's so strange. Boy, the cars are loud down here. It just feels like the cars are super loud here. So the United States Naval Academy, founded in 1845, as you can see from the sign, located here in Annapolis, Maryland. Annapolis was once the capital of the United States, believe it or not. Prior to 1790, when Washington, D.C. was designated as the capital, the planned capital of the United States. But Annapolis is all about the Navy. Naval Academy here, and you can enter. I won't today because I'm live streaming and I want to be respectful. You can enter the Naval Academy. You can tour the Naval Academy. There's a museum. There are exhibits. And I'm going to be super careful here on this corner because no one cares. These drivers are crazy. Hey, good morning, Pucks Pucks. Well, that's not very nice now, is it? Now, is it? Bye-bye, Pucks Pucks. So as I was saying, if you're visiting Annapolis, Maryland, or if you're in the Baltimore or Washington, D.C. area, this is about a 40-minute drive from those areas. You can visit the lovely town of Annapolis. And you can check out the Naval Academy. You can go on the grounds. Hi, good morning, Scrapped Kitty. You can go to the museum. You can walk around the campus. You can go to sports events. You can go watch basketball. The football stadium is a little bit of a ways from here. You would drive to the football stadium. So we're going to walk down the street. Check out some of the old historic architecture. And then we're going to walk across the Eastport Bridge. Annapolis is located right on the beautiful Chesapeake Bay here in Maryland. And this is the pedestrian entrance if you wanted to visit the Naval Academy. You are subject to search and obviously can't bring weapons, etc., onto the campus. Yeah, I didn't plan to stream today, but I was out early this morning and it was blue skies and beautiful, and I thought, okay, let me go for a walk. And then 10 minutes later, cloudy. These old homes, largely wooden structures, many of them used as beds and breakfasts. We're going to have that conversation again. Beds and breakfast for visitors in the area. Many of these homes are designated historic structures and are regulated. So any improvements, changes to the structure have to be approved. Hi, Sophia. Very nice to meet you. Lady across the street turned around real fast and looked at me. Her name must be Sophia. Coincidental. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Annapolis is a really good city to walk through, except for one thing. This is a pretty decent sidewalk. Many of the sidewalks are still brick or cobblestone. Be careful when walking. So I'm gonna walk extra slowly and keep looking down to make sure I don't trip. You can wander up and down these streets and see so many beautiful old homes dating back to the early 1800s, some to the late 1700s. Mostly wooden. You know, we tend to find the cities and towns on the water to be of wood construction, whereas in the city we have the brick and stone. But these are all really well preserved for their age. So walking from the entrance of the Naval Academy toward the west is the main circle where Main Street converges with the Annapolis Market House and the main dock. Which is just astride Ego Alley, EGO Alley, where all those who have their fancy yachts bring them up so everyone can admire their wealth. But before we head that way, take a little look here. At Marketplace here in Annapolis. As you can imagine, on a Friday or Saturday night, this place is jumping. All these bars and pubs, some of which are historic. And Middleton's is, I believe, the oldest tavern. Let's see, commemorating the role of it doesn't say the date for Middleton's, but it's 1800s for Middleton's. And then some of these establishments here have changed hands from restaurants to pubs to bars to inns, but all right here on the water. McGarvey's, historic, has been here as long as I've been alive. Other really historic homes. Iron Rooster, relatively new to the area. Breakfast all day long. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can have breakfast at breakfast, lunch, and dinner time. All of this great outdoor eating space here. This really came about as a result of COVID so that the restaurants could continue to operate. This used to be a street. The street's been blocked off for quite a while so that the restaurants can have outdoor eating space. Next to Iron Rooster, Federal House Bar and Grill, established in 1830. So much history here. And then many, many, many little shops around Market Square here. Again, a look up at the little tiny narrow streets. Annapolis is not one of those towns that's on a grid. It's a very old town. It grew organically. And so it has traffic circles and not very many grid-like streets, which makes it great for a wander. Now, in addition to the cobblestone and the bricks that you have to really look out for on the sidewalks, some of the streets are still cobbled. So you really have to take care when walking through Annapolis. Let's head over to the waterfront. Let's cross the bridge. Now the bridge we're going to cross is a drawbridge. And there's always a chance we'll get stuck on one side or another. So let's Let's see. Beautiful shot of the flag here. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday morning. Really weird weather here. I decided to stream when it was bright blue skies about a half an hour ago. Now it's cloudy. Oh, now I see the sign for Middleton's. Middleton's established 1750. So there has been a tavern on that site since 1750. So that's pretty cool. Since before the Revolution. Annapolis was incredibly important in the development of the United States. As I mentioned, it was the capital of the United States for a period of time. Oh, we got high tide. We have high tide. Let's go check it out. Because of its obvious situation, Annapolis does flood. And here we're at high tide and the water's up on the sidewalk. We got ducks. We got ducks. I'm gonna come over here and then we'll get a good look. This is Eco Alley. This is where you bring your yacht, you turn around, you show off to everyone, and then you go along your merry way. But there's another look back at Middleton's and Marketplace. And yeah, we're in high tide here. And it's windy too. We'll go over this way. We'll walk down Dock Street and then we'll take a walk across the Eastport Bridge across the water.
I don't really care about cars that much, but Back to the Future.
Good morning, everyone. It's taking their having fun, hanging out. It's a little breeze today. It is hot and humid, but at least there's a little bit of a breeze. I mean, we usually have a breeze on the water. But the blue skies, they disappeared so quickly. I can't believe how fast the blue skies went away this morning. Now, I have not been over to Chop Tank. I've been to the one in Baltimore. Fantastic seafood. So I will check this one out sometime. Got some construction going on here. Used to be a restaurant here. What was it called? Oh, I forget what it was called. Whatever it was, it's gone now. But there's a good look at Chop Tank. Right on the water. Beautiful. And good food too. So I'm looking forward to a visit.
What's your target race pace?
Hi, Sanu. We're in Annapolis, Maryland, on the beautiful Chesapeake Bay. Excuse me. And we're on City Dock. And this is called Eco Alley here. This is where all the yachtsmen bring their boats to show off. Must be something going on soon because everybody's kind of tailgating here. There must be a race today. Oh, I see what's going on. There's a car show here. Aha. All right, we'll take a look at that when I get down here and turn around. Very nice to meet you, Sanu. Very nice to meet you. Get another peek down here. Get down to the end of this dock here and get a really good view. And then we'll come back up through the car show that's going on here. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Sanu. And get down here. That's good to hear. And here is very safe as well. We're about 30 minutes from Baltimore, about 40 minutes from Washington, D.C., and we're on the peaceful, peaceful water. Now it's gonna get a little breezy because we're coming to the edge of the dock here, so it's always breezy here, but once we get here, we can stop walking and stop bopping and take a look at the boats out in the water. Step down. And then we'll walk over the bridge. I find it quite safe. You know, I'm from Baltimore, at times the murder capital of the world. But if you know your surroundings and just are aware of where you are, I find it to be really safe. I also find Washington, D.C. to be very safe. So here we are, the view from City Dock in Annapolis, looking out on all of the yachts and boats. Many people from across the state of Maryland moor their boats here. In a distance in this shot, you can see the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. It's really hard to see though. I was hoping for a bright sunny day. New York City, I would say, is not as safe as Washington, D.C. or Baltimore. New York appears a little bit of lawless right now. Usually depends on who's in power in government. And if you have folks who are soft on crime, you're going to have more crime. It's just common sense. It's not a political statement. It's just common sense. And then they don't prosecute criminals, so they keep doing their thing. But this is a really nice, tranquil place. You know, everywhere you go, there's always danger. Anywhere you go. But there's also beauty everywhere. And this is a great place to chill out, relax, enjoy the water. Admire the boats and the yachts. Sometimes there's I'm surprised there's not as much traffic, or there's no traffic on the water yet. Probably a little bit too early. And because it got cloudy. I left my house like 20 minutes ago and it was bright sunshine. And the clouds then rolled in. But this is a really nice park here at the end of City Dock. And I'm gonna find my way to the steps. And that building there you see is the part of the United States Naval Academy. Geez, do we party hard over there? There are people that party hard here. This is actually a really good place to party with all the pubs and restaurants here. And people come up in their ships, their boats. Party boat all the time. People are just out on their boats enjoying a beautiful day. A lot of camaraderie among the people who own boats here. Hi, Nathan. This is Annapolis, Maryland. We're on the Chesapeake Bay. And I'm sorry it's breezy because we're at the end of the dock here. And I'm gonna take one more look, and I'm gonna be quiet because there are people here just chilling out. And across the way there, those buildings, that's the United States Naval Academy. And if you visit Annapolis, actually if you visit Baltimore or Washington, Annapolis is a really short ride. And hi, Sanu. I stream at least one morning on the weekend, and then usually one evening, like after work. Usually in and around Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, wherever I'm working or traveling. And I like to find historic architecture and history. And I started making videos just to track my research, but then people started joining along, and I think that's really cool. Do I travel to India? I want to. I do. It's on my list. It's on my list. All right, we're gonna come back up here through this classic car show that appears to be happening up here. And then we're gonna cross over the Eastport Bridge. Mini Switzerland. Okay, I'm all for that. Himachal Pradesh. Awesome. I have many friends through my work. I have many friends from India, and it's definitely on my list. Now I'm going to walk up here through these classic cars and zooped up modern cars. I won't talk much because I don't know anything about cars. So I'll just show them for you. Okay, like this one. And then we'll head to the bridge. And then when I hear music, I have to talk over the music. So I will have to talk if there's music. Oh, comes another one. Oh my word. All right, there's a Delorean. There is a Delorean. Wow. Cool. Back to the Future car. Cool stuff. Maserati. I know nothing about cars. Nothing whatsoever. And that guy's just obnoxious. Oh my gosh. Why? Am I able to monetize? I'm not that kind of a YouTuber. I have another channel with instructional videos about conducting historic research. So someday, maybe when I retire, maybe those videos can be monetized. But I'm not really thinking about that. It's not, I do this for fun, but thanks for asking. I do this totally for fun. And if I always encourage, if anyone enjoys kind of walking around and seeing history, then please subscribe and turn that notification bell on, and you'll know when I'm streaming. I will probably go into really technical research stuff pretty soon on this channel as well. And I understand that's a completely different audience than the folks that join me on my little rambles. So as I research historic architecture, and this is a wonderful place to study historic architecture, particularly, you know, the earliest architecture in the United States going back to the 1700s. And then I put together long form videos on those subjects. Davyverse, good morning. Hey, we're in Annapolis, Maryland. I started out, I wasn't planning to stream, but it was such a beautiful blue sky morning. I came out, and then as soon as I got here, clouds and even a little bit of rain. But it's still beautiful. Anytime you're on the water, it's beautiful. Davyverse, I hope you have a fantastic day ahead of you. I should be working. I brought a lot of work home. And I hadn't planned to stream. I got up, I ran some errands, and it was so sunny and beautiful. And I said, let me just walk down here. And the clouds, as soon as I got to the water, clouds. But we're in Annapolis, Maryland, home to the United States Naval Academy, former capital of the United States before the Revolution. And this is just another look back at Middleton Tavern, Middleton Tavern, established in 1750. That's how old Annapolis is. Oh, I'm so glad you have a lazy day ahead of you, Davyverse. That's awesome. That's amazing. Now, on another stream, we'll head up Main Street and we'll take a look at all of the shops and talk a little bit about the history there. Some history around the flooding. This is not flooding, this is high tide. So the water is all the way up on the walkway today at this time of the morning. Almost got ran over by a little kid. I know, almost got ran over by a little kid. And there's always people with their damn dogs. Paddleboarding is easy here. This is Ego Alley. Everybody comes up here to show off, whether it's in their yacht, their water ski, their canoe, their paddleboard, whatever. They come up Ego Alley. And this is the Alex Haley Memorial. So if you're a fan of genealogy, family history in America was really sparked by the amazing miniseries Roots, based on the book written by Alex Haley, who was researching his own family. And this monument commemorates him telling his story. Why was that important? Why is this here? Because right here at this dock was one of the locations on the east coast of the United States where slaves were traded. And so this monument commemorates the importance of telling those family stories. And I love it. Absolutely love it. Another good shot of the flag today. We are getting a good breeze. It is hot. Davyverse, that's so funny. It's so expensive to keep even the tiniest little boat. Members of my family are on the water and they have boats. I'm fine with using theirs. I am totally fine with using, you know, when you live in this area, you always know somebody who's on a boat, or you can rent one. We did it a few weeks ago. We rented a little party boat, had a wonderful time just tooling around here on a little party boat. So it was great. Hey, Space Nut, you're not late. You are right on time. You are right on time. Morning. So on this side of Ego Alley, this area has been renovated after a huge fire. I won't comment on that. There's sometimes some fires, allegedly, are under questionable circumstances. I won't comment any further, hypothetically. But these buildings here, some of the oldest in Annapolis and some of the oldest in the state of Maryland, dating back to the 1700s. Why Annapolis? Well, because it's a port. on the east coast of the United States. Any area that is a natural protected harbor, and here just off the Chesapeake Bay, little towns sprouted up. And the town of Annapolis was one of the first to sprout up in Maryland. And whoops! And the Maryland State House is the oldest continuously operating state house in the United States. So the seat of our government has stayed the same, literally in the same building, since before the founding of the colonies, before the founding and before the revolution in the United States. So this is Main Street. We'll walk up there on a different stream. But you can see many of the homes here and many of the buildings are wood structures. A few are brick. So these would have been the more important commercial buildings here in Annapolis, would have been the ones made of brick. Obviously, they've lasted a long time. The little Annapolis Summer Garden Theater is here. And again, I need to check out this restaurant. I've been to Chop Tank in Baltimore and had really good seafood. So this is on my list here now that it's open in Annapolis.
Hopefully before I come.
Start in the pubs. I know, right? A lot of them were. A lot of the, some of the buildings were pubs. Some of the buildings that are pubs and bars today were pubs and bars 200 years ago, which is kind of cool. It's an easy city to walk because it's very compact, but it is full of brick sidewalks and cobblestones. So for everyone, I suggest being careful and looking down, not looking at your phone while you're walking. And I didn't want to say it while those folks walk by, but wearing appropriate footwear is important here. And flip-flops would be difficult. Flip-flops would be very dangerous here because of the cobblestones and the brick sidewalks. It does. So SpaceNet, this is, when you say it looks European, this was not a planned city. So some of our planned cities in the United States have that grid pattern for streets, but this one grew organically. So the streets are all crooked. Some of them are very narrow. And to me, that's that European look. It looks all crazy. We're walking here. If you walk past Main Street, and here's more cars coming for the car show. It's gonna get loud down here today. There's I won't call it classic car, it's like a sports car show here today. There's a cute little mural at the Fleet Reserve Club. Hi, Queen Dinosaur. Nice to see you. Yeah, I saw those cars earlier today, so now I know what's going on. But we're gonna get to the bridge. This is the Annapolis Waterfront Hotel. Quite a more upscale, expensive place to stay, which also had the world's worst restaurant in it for quite a long time. I won't say the name, but when you're a restaurant in prime real estate and you have a deck on the harbor, you don't have to serve good food. People will just come for the location. And I feel that that's what was happening here. And I speak from experience. I won't name the name, but it's no longer here. So we're hoping that a restaurant that cares will show up here at this prime location. You have a way to give me an avatar. You know, two different people said that they could do what do you call that thing? A VTuber thing for me. So no, I'm not a real YouTuber, so the VTuber thing is weird. I kind of like my avatar. I am the knight in the library. That's my gaming persona. I defend the books. That's me. Film Club was good yesterday. Thanks for joining. Film Club was really good yesterday. We had such a good conversation. For those who were new to Film Club yesterday, we don't normally talk about new movies. We have a wheel of film, which you didn't get to see yesterday, Space Nut, because we didn't spin the wheel. We have a wheel of film that tells us the next film we're going to look at, but we were already doing all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies next, so we don't need to add another one right now. The Annapolis Yacht Club. This is a big deal, and you can see why. You can see all the expensive toys over there, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be, so I'm typically the one who reads the books. So if there's a book to one of the films that we review, I read the book. So thankfully we've had a 3-week head start on the Lord of the Rings. So I've finished Fellowship, Two Towers, and now I'm on Return of the King. And after having to read the book for Twilight a few weeks ago, which was horrendous. Check out our review of Twilight. It was so refreshing to read good writing. Sorry if I sound like a snob. I mean, I encourage people to read books of all types. I really do. Just read. I don't care what you read. Just read. My mom really likes the Twilight books. But for me, I was much rather enjoying Tolkien than the Twilight books. And this is the Annapolis Yacht Club here with their fancy schmancy restaurant right on the water. And this is the Eastport Bridge. We'll go over one side, we'll come back on the other side, and we'll pray. We will pray that the drawbridge doesn't have to open while we're on the other side. Otherwise, it'll be a long wait. And then I'll end the stream because my battery is going to die. I didn't charge my phone last night, and this was a last-minute stream. It will also get windy when I get to the top of this bridge, so I do apologize if that gets annoying. I'll walk a little slower, and when I get down to 4% on my phone, I will end the stream. So for those who just joined, thank you. We're in Annapolis, Maryland. And this is where Spa Creek creeps over to the Chesapeake Bay, right at the Annapolis Harbor. And this is a drawbridge, as you can see. Boats on either side. Restaurants, yacht clubs, condominiums, apartments. This is about 30 minutes from Washington, D.C. 40, maybe 40 minutes from Washington, 30 minutes from Baltimore. Now there's the big ones. If you can see the ships, the boats kind of lined up there. You can see the big ones back there. The yachts. Morning. Hey Daphne, good morning. Yeah, Davy Verse, there's not a lot of good, like, I don't know. I don't think there are many good books for anyone. I mean, like me, I like biography. I like history. I like true stories. I don't like fiction unless it's really good fiction. We did see the trailers when James and I saw, and maybe for those of you who saw Superman already, you saw the trailer for the Odyssey. That looks good, so I'll have to do some mythology reading, but I have a year and a half to do that. And then I was so excited to see the trailer for Project Hail Mary. I love Andy Weir's writing. I love the book The Martian and the film. And we have that to look forward to with Project Hail Mary. Wow, we may have super high tide here right now. Wonder if it's a lunar high tide, because as we get closer to the other side of the bridge, you'll see where the water is up on the street. Hey there, have a good day. Hey Holocron, good morning. Hey Pete. Hello, we are on Eastport Bridge over the Spa Creek in Annapolis, Maryland. We just walked from the main street past the yacht club. In a far distance there, you can see the United States Naval Academy and all the boats. I am very excited for Project Hail Mary. The trailer looked amazing, except that they spoiled the big U-turn in the book. I hate when trailers do that. I mean, I understand they have to attract interest, but the big U-turn in the book, the big surprise, it's such a good surprise in the book. So I want to reread it. It's written by Andy Weir, the same writer of the same writer of The Martian. I also like his writing. It's very compact. Now this is the drawbridge part. These things always scare the heck out of me. They do. Forget about cobblestones. Woo. Walking over a grate that could open up. I mean, it would open up, but woo, that's scary. All right, we're gonna walk quickly. But yeah, so looking forward to Project Hail Mary. There were some other trailers I am not looking forward to, but considering I had not been in the theater for a year, it was a year ago that I saw a film in the theater, I think. I just can't remember any other. The one I remember before this was Napoleon, which was the birth of Film Club. When James and I decided we were really excited for the film Napoleon because we like history films. And then we saw it and we didn't talk to each other. And we decided to live stream. And I had never done that before. It was my first live stream too. Other than like gaming, jumping on the gaming streams with Dan. So we did it and we just planned to talk. We didn't prep or anything. We talked for 4 hours, I think. We talked longer than the film. And it was so much fun. And we knew Jay had been doing some amazing reviews. By the way, check out Nerd Take's review of Superman on Nerd Take's channel. His review is awesome. It's a non-spoilery review. Our film club review is spoilery. So if you come to Annapolis, getting back to Annapolis, if you come to Annapolis, make your way away from the main street, down here to the other town or neighborhood of Eastport. And you can't see it, but the water is up. It's up the ramps into the street over there. So we're at super high tide. There must be a lunar high tide or something. The Odyssey, they used a Norse longboat instead of a Greek ship. Oh no. Well, Pete, I'm glad you can have your morning coffee while I'm traveling around. I'm sorry that the traffic is loud. We're in nice, tranquil, peaceful waterside, but this traffic is crazy. We're gonna cross over and go back over the other side. This stream may end abruptly. I'm down to 5% on my phone. Yeah, I forgot to charge it. And I didn't plan the stream. Oh, now the sun comes out. Now the sun comes out. But once you're across Spa Creek, S-P-A, Spa Creek, then you're in Eastport, Maryland. And across the way, we'll see the little sign for Eastport, Maryland, and I'll call it another historic marker for Marquis de Lafayette. Everywhere, I swear, everywhere I go, you know, George Washington was here and Lafayette was here. So, during the Revolutionary War, 1,200 Continental Light Infantrymen under the command of Marquis de Lafayette encamped on the rise behind this sign en route to the decisive battle in Yorktown, Virginia. So there you go, and there's the rise behind the sign, behind the gates. Awesome. And then here's a little map of where we are. The little neighborhood of Eastport in Annapolis, Maryland. Hi, Tiny Tiger. Very nice to see you. Hello, Alfonso. Yeah, I don't know. Haha, Davey Verse. Yeah, I don't know. So coming back over, so if you don't want to fight the traffic in Annapolis proper, especially like on a Saturday night or a Friday night when everybody's at the bars, then you park in Eastport and you walk across this bridge. And it's a nice walk. And you get to admire all the boats. All the boats. It would be ideal if the drawbridge went up when I was just on the other side of it. And all the horns started to sound. So the church there, that's St. Mary's Catholic Church. There are two principal church spires in Annapolis. One is on Church Circle, and that's St. Anne's, and that's a Protestant church. And St. Mary's is a Catholic church and school. Oh, okay. Full or new moon means springtide. That's what we have. Yeah, it's quite... I lived here my whole life. I've never seen it up this high, really and truly. Other than a flood. When we've had flooding rains or a hurricane, then Annapolis is significantly impacted. Well, thanks everyone for joining me for this very impromptu stream this morning. I didn't plan to. When I left my house this morning, the sun was bright and the sky was blue. And I said, oh, let me stream. And then I got here and the clouds rolled in. What do you know? But I'm going to continue my walk and then move about my day. I hope everyone has a fantastic Sunday and a great week ahead. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks for all the good chat. Take care.